Good morning. It is day one of my St Cuthbert's Way pilgrimage. Here we are, here at Melrose Abbey. Uh, I'll put some better photos up. It's closed at the moment, doesn't open till a bit later on, but I came yesterday. This is the beginning of the walk, beginning here from Melrose, making my way to Hairstains. It's 8:30 this morning. The temperature is increasing rapidly. My night's sleep was, let's say, interesting. Outside my window, which I could either have open with what sounded like a jumbo jet trying to start and failing to start every 3 seconds throughout the night, or I could have the window closed and it be a million degrees. So I had a combination of the two. But I have had a full Scottish breakfast, and here begins my walk. I've said my pilgrim's prayers, and now we make our way onto this route. I think it's planned to be some 15 or 16 miles, but we'll see how we go. Oh, here I am at my first stop, a place called Bowden Kirk. 3 miles into walk this morning, and I've got to say it was a brutal start. First mile was steep uphill, out in the sun, and my heart rate. I do like stats on my watch. My heart rate was already beating at 160 beats a minute for the best part of that hour. So it was a blessed relief to go under the cover of some trees for the second half of this part this morning. So there we are. Oh, and there I am. Let's make our way into church on my way in. The village of Bowden Kirk, and it's just a few hundred meters off the actual trail, but it's a place where you can get your pilgrim's passport stamp. So just looking, this looks like a likely place. What's this? Stamp your passport. So the first stop of many. Gonna give this a little stamp. Right way up. Find out. There we go. Perfect. Completely upside down. Like I say, that first little bit was brutal. I was questioning my decision very early on, but the second part has been good walking for now. Well, here I am, some 18.5 kilometres into day one. Hopefully somewhat on the home straight now, or at least the end of day one stop, which is a place called Hairstains. Then because it's quite a small place, there's no accommodation there, so then I'll travel into Jedburgh for the night, and then retrace back to the St Cuthbert's Way in the morning to carry on. After that first hour or so of walking in the heat and going up the good hills. It's been a real mixed day of walking under trees and paths like I am now. Feels like a real godsend in the heat. Not quite as hot as it is back home, but still hot enough. 27 degrees most of the day. Then walking by the river Tweed and stopping to have a paddle, which was one of the highlights of the day so far. I've got my passport, pilgrim passport, stamped along the way at various places, and I'll upload a few photos as I go. Just pause here. I'm now following an old Roman road, so my markers are not just the St Cuthbert's cross, but also a Roman helmet as well, next to a fairly busy road as well for the first time on the route. As I've near the end of today, I moved out of the more remote parts and heading towards more built up parts. But it's been a good day of walking. It's been hard at the beginning, but actually the rest of the day I felt pretty good. As I've imagined St Cuthbert walking some of these paths, or at least near to them. Probably this old Roman road, I suspect maybe one of the ones that she would have been more likely to have walked. Well, I better get on my way and make my way to the stopping point for today. I'm here. I've made it to my hotel for the night here in Jedburgh. It's been a day of just shy of 16 miles, just shy of 30,000 steps, and my body's feeling it a little bit. Actually, for the most part, it's been pretty good. It's very aware that the first couple of miles were really hard, and the last couple of miles, perhaps unsurprisingly, were pretty hard going as well. But I've made it here. One of the things that I'm doing, I've got some prayers that I've written and a bit of a rhythm for doing things over my days on the way, and thought I'd just use these final reflections for the day to look at some of the questions which kind of an ancient form of prayer called the examen, but there's some slightly different questions which just help reflect on the day. And I've just been writing in my journal here some of the questions that I've written down for today. What was God's surprise for you today? Well, I think 30-degree sea heat in Scotland, as my cab driver reminded me as he took me from where I finished my walk today to the nearby town, that actually it did go up above 30 degrees here, and in Scotland's a pretty rare thing. That was a surprise that when I planned this walk with purchasing various bits of wet weather gear, I didn't quite expect the heat and how it's going to continue on over the coming days. Probably a bit more seriously, what's God's surprise for me? I think I was surprised at how still my mind was. I tried to walk for good chunks of the day without headphones in or anything like that, and my mind has a tendency to wander and go all over the place. But there was a sense of peace as I walked along today. Second question: who did you see that needed kindness? I think I've been the recipient of some kindness from various people today. I walked nearly all day without seeing any other pilgrim walking the same route as me. That was until I got to the last maybe mile and a half, 2 miles, and I came across two ladies who had sat down for a rest, looking pretty exhausted, as I was as well. And I saw that they were holding a St Cuthbert's Way guidebook. And I guess my natural tendency was to just keep on going, get to the end as quick as possible and say a quick hello. But I commented and asked them if they were walking the way, which is an obvious question to ask. But we just stopped and had a nice chat about where we'd come from. They were much more local than me, and how we were doing, and hopefully I just gave them a bit of encouragement as we neared the end of the day. What beauty did you notice? Well, it was beauty tinged with hard work and pain. Was the Eildon Hills, saying that wrong, that I walked up in that first mile, ascending some about 1,000 feet in under a mile, walking between the two peaks. I wasn't feeling a place to stop to take photos, I've got to say, at that point. But some hours later, I looked back and I could see these hills in the background to see where I'd come from, and they were pretty special to look back at. I think the other place of beauty, I'm not sure I got much footage of it, but I was walking beside the River Tweed for a chunk of the day, with its fast moving clear waters but shallow, and I had a lovely stop and took my shoes and socks off and just had a paddle in those cold, cool waters, and it was a pretty stunning location just to be able to pause and to do that. And I was so pleased I didn't just plough on further, but I did take that moment to stop. Where did you encounter Christ? Maybe this is the harder question. Where did I encounter Christ along the way? Probably, obviously, in the beauty of creation. I encountered Christ in reading the book that I'm reading at the moment by Richard Carter. Just reading a chapter a day, a very simple chapter about called 100 Reasons for Living, and they're just beautiful stories or reflections from Richard, who at my ordination retreat, about being grateful and noticing God. And just in the reading of that, I felt like I encountered Christ and set me up for the day. The piece of scenery and the location around me. And as things became hard, I've been holding off. Put my headphones in, and I had a podcast, a Rest is History podcast about Cuthbert, whose maybe footsteps I'm walking in, or at least joining my story with his story. And there was a wonderful sense of his commitment to Christ so many years ago, and the challenges that he was facing. And it's a wonderful story out of Cuthbert, and do some more digging into that. Because in all honesty, it's not something I knew massive amounts about. And so finally, for what am I grateful? I'm grateful that I'm here. Not just in the sense that I've finished the day's walking, but yes, that as well. but I don't take for granted the fact that I've got this opportunity to have this sabbatical and um, and also the opportunity to come and do something like this that I've never done before. I'm grateful for the messages from friends and family along the way, particularly some of my friends, and bits that made me chuckle. One who didn't realise that I was walking this route, but as soon as he found out that he had an image of me walking in sandals and some kind of Hessian tunic, it was more heavy pack and walking boots, but they did make me smile along the way. So I'll leave this video here. I hope they get a good night's sleep tonight, because I really need it. I was going to film this from a more salubrious location over at Jedburgh Abbey, but to be honest, I've probably done enough walking for today, so apologies for the boring location to finish up for this day, and I'll see you tomorrow.